Aloha, and welcome back to Hawaii Travel Made Easy. I'm your host, Marcie, Hawaii travel expert, mom of two, and someone who's visited the islands more than 40 times. If you've ever dreamed of visiting Hawaii without crowds, with better prices, and with amazing weather, today's episode is for you. Because I'm here to let you in on a little secret. Fall is the absolute best time to visit Hawaii. Yep, those sweet months between mid-September and mid-December are what I call Hawaii's best kept secret. And I'm going to break down exactly why. So, here's the thing. Most people look at Hawaii for summer vacations, spring break, or winter holidays. But those are also the busiest and most expensive times to visit. What they don't realize is that once Labor Day passes, the islands get noticeably quieter, airfare drops, hotels open up, and tours aren't completely booked out months in advance. Fall is this magical pocket of time when you can experience everything Hawaii has to offer without the chaos or the price tag. You're more likely to find last-minute dinner reservations at top restaurants, and you might even get a free room upgrade just because the resort isn't full. Beaches that are packed in July feel relaxed and peaceful in October. You won't have to hover to find a lounge chair at the pool or wait 30 minutes for a poke bowl at a food truck. Fall is also a favorite time for locals. It's kind of the calm before the holiday storm. You'll find more community events, local markets, and authentic experiences that aren't crowded with tourists. It's a great time to strike up conversations with locals or explore places off the beaten path without the pressure of crowds. And if you're traveling with kids not yet in school or doing homeschool or flexible schedules, you can take full advantage of this sweet spot. You'll spend less time waiting and more time soaking up the sunshine, making memories, and actually enjoying your vacation. Fall in Hawaii feels more relaxed, more authentic, and just a little more magical. Okay, let's talk timing. The best window to visit Hawaii in fall is usually mid-September through early December. I like to avoid Labor Day week because it's still crowded with leftover summer travelers. But right after that, pure gold. If you're looking to plan a fall trip, try aiming for late September, October, or early November. These weeks tend to have the lowest rates and thinnest crowds, plus it's still warm and sunny. The weather is typically in the low to mid-80s, the ocean is warm, and there's very little rain compared to the winter months. You'll also get to enjoy the islands before the start of whale season in mid-December, which brings more tourists and higher prices. October, in particular, is one of my favorite months. You'll find great deals on airfare, especially midweek flights, and resorts often run special fall promotions to fill their rooms. If you're using points or miles, availability tends to be better in the fall too. That means more flexibility in choosing your hotel, flight times, and even rental cars without crazy surcharges. And for those planning activities like luau's, sunset cruises, or popular tours like snorkeling at Molokini or visiting Pearl Harbor, you'll have a much easier time finding good time slots and smaller group sizes. Fall is basically your secret weapon for getting the best value and experience in Hawaii. Just don't wait too long to book once you've picked your dates. Okay, now let's get into the money stuff, because fall is a budget traveler's dream. Flights are often 30 to 40% cheaper than during summer or winter break. I've seen round-trip fares from the West Coast for under $300 in October, which is almost unheard of during peak months. Hotels? You can save hundreds of dollars a night compared to peak season. For example, a beachfront room in Waikiki that goes for $450 or more in December might be under $250 in late September. Rental cars are easier to find and often cheaper too. I've rented cars in October for less than $40 a day through Discount Hawaii Car Rental, plus they don't charge hidden fees or prepayment. Activities like luau's, snorkel tours, or helicopter rides are more available and sometimes even discounted. Operators are more flexible and might even throw in bonus perks like free photo packages or upgraded seating. If you're using airline miles or hotel points, fall is when you're most likely to find availability, even at popular resorts like Aulani or the Hyatt Regency Maui. Some properties release more rooms during shoulder seasons, making it easier to score that oceanfront room you've been eyeing. Even food trucks and casual restaurants tend to have shorter lines and faster service, which means less waiting and more relaxing. And if you love shopping, like I do, fall is when a lot of local boutiques and resort stores start marking down summer inventory. Hello, discounted aloha shirts and beachwear. Overall, traveling to Hawaii in the fall gives you more value for every dollar you spend, making it easier to upgrade your experience without breaking the bank. You know what's even better than saving money? Saving your sanity. Fall means no massive crowds at the airports, shorter lines at shave ice stands, and a way more relaxed vibe across the islands. You'll have a better chance of scoring a front row seat at a luau, an ocean view table for dinner, or a quiet spot on a popular beach. Parking is way less stressful too. At spots like Lanikai Beach on Oahu or Big Beach on Maui, you'll actually have a shot at finding parking without circling for 30 minutes. At popular attractions like Pearl Harbor, the Dole Plantation, or Kaka Falls on the Big Island, you'll spend less time waiting and more time exploring. Even hikes are better in the fall. You might have the entire trail to yourself at places like the Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail or Hanakapiai Falls. It's also easier to get into restaurants that usually have long waits. I've walked into places like Monkey Pod or Duke's without a reservation in October, which is almost impossible in the summer. Kids are back in school, so if you're not tied to a school calendar, this is a golden window for a quieter and more laid-back trip. Tour guides and hotel staff often have more time to chat, offer tips, and share stories, which makes the experience more personal. You won't feel rushed or overwhelmed trying to beat the crowd, because the crowds just aren't there. Fall is a season where Hawaii feels more like a true escape and less like a tourist hotspot. Okay, let's talk weather, because that's a big reason why fall is such a win. September through November still feels like summer. Think 80s during the day, 70s at night. The ocean is warm and calm, which is perfect for snorkeling or paddleboarding. The rain? Well, you might get an occasional shower, especially on the windward sides, but the big rainy season doesn't usually start until mid to late December. And those fall sunsets, absolutely stunning. Every early evening golden hour is a photographer's dream, perfect for photographer sessions if you're planning family photos or engagement pics. Humidity also drops slightly in the fall, especially on the drier sides of the islands like West Maui or South Oahu, making it more comfortable for sightseeing or hiking. It's a great time to do scenic drives like the Road to Hana or explore Waimea Canyon without overheating. Fall is also ideal for beach days. Places like Lanikai Beach, Ka'anapali, or Hapuna Beach are still warm and inviting, but much less crowded. Water visibility is often excellent, especially in early fall, which makes it prime time for snorkeling at spots like Molokini Crater or Sharks Cove. Sunrise hikes are also more comfortable too. Trails like Diamond Head or Makapu'u are cooler and less packed. And if you're planning a stargazing night at Mauna Kea or Haleakala, fall's clear skies are usually in your favor. So, while the mainland is bundling up for sweater weather, Hawaii in the fall still feels like paradise with just the right balance of sun, warmth, and comfort. Another thing I love about fall in Hawaii, it works for every type of traveler. Couples and honeymooners, it's quieter and more romantic. Spa appointments are easier to get, and the sunset dinners feel more special without the crowds. You can usually hear the waves during dinner at beachfront restaurants like Duke's or the Beach House without background noise from large tour groups. Plus, hotel packages for couples tend to be more available in the fall, with perks like free breakfast or spa credits. Families? It's easier to stick to a budget, and you won't be fighting crowds at the pool. Kids can play freely at spots like Aulani's Splash Zone or the Grand Hyatt Kauai's Lazy River. Attractions like the Honolulu Zoo, Maui Ocean Center, and Dole Plantation are less congested, which means more time for exploring and less time waiting in line. Multi-gen groups? Fall gives you the slower pace that works great for both toddlers and grandparents. You can build in rest days or beach mornings without feeling like you're missing out. And booking larger vacation rentals or adjoining rooms is often easier in the off-season. Solo travelers? Fewer people means more peace and a stronger local vibe. It's easier to join small group tours or grab a last-minute spot at a yoga class on the beach. Places like Paia on Maui or Hanalei on Kauai feel extra soulful this time of year, too. And if you're a content creator, no waiting for those scenic Instagram shots. Fall light is dream, and the beaches are emptier, and your photos will have that clean, serene vibe that's hard to get in peak season. Now, even though fall is less crowded, you still want to plan ahead to get the best deals. I recommend booking your flights and accommodations early, like 4 to 6 months out is ideal. Fall deals can pop up, but the best rooms at resorts like Aulani, the Royal Hawaiian, or the Hyatt Regency Maui go fast, especially if you're using points or booking ocean view categories. Want a luau, helicopter tour, or fancy dinner reservation? Snag those at least 2 to 3 months ahead. Places like the Hawaii Loa Luau on the Big Island or Mama's Fish House on Maui fill up, even in shoulder season. Check the weather for the area you're staying in. For example, if you're planning to visit the North Shore of Oahu in late fall, be aware that surf swells start rolling in, which might make some beaches unsafe for swimming. Pack light layers, especially if you're visiting higher elevations like Haleakala, where sunrise temps can dip into the 40s, or Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, which often sees rain and chilly winds. Bring reef-safe sunscreen, water shoes, and reusable water bottles. Fall still has strong UV rays, and places like Polihale or Honolulu Bay may still require a little walking over rocky paths. Don't forget your rental car. Even in fall, inventory can be tight, especially on Kauai and the Big Island. So book early through Discount Hawaii Car Rental to lock in a deal with free cancellation. Want to photograph sunrise or sunset? Fall's golden hours are dreamy, and the sun sets earlier, usually between 5:45 and 6:15 p.m., so plan your dinner or shoot accordingly. Double-check operating hours for fall. Small tour operators or food trucks reduce their schedules outside of peak seasons, especially on Kauai and the Big Island. Keep an eye on airline flash sales. Fall is a common time for Hawaii airfare deals, especially from the West Coast. Set price alerts and be ready to pounce. You'll also want to build in some buffer days in case your snorkel tour gets rescheduled due to weather. It happens. Fall is more mellow, but weather can shift fast, especially on the windward sides of the island. Having wiggle room keeps your trip stress-free. And finally, some fall bonuses you didn't even know you needed. Local events. September is Aloha Festival season, and you'll find parades, concerts, and cultural experiences across the islands, especially on Oahu and Maui. Check out the Waikiki Ho'olea, which shuts down Kalakaua Avenue for a giant block party with food booths, hula, and live music. Fall moonrises over the ocean. Yes, please. Full moons in the fall rise early in the evening, perfect for a peaceful beach walk, moonlit paddleboard session, or dreamy photo op at places like Lanikai Beach or Hanalei Bay. Packing is a breeze. You can stick to breezy dresses, swimwear, flip-flops, and a light sweater for the plain or up-country evenings. No need for bulky jackets or boots, which frees up suitcase space for souvenirs. More space equals better photo ops. That means no waiting to get your shot at scenic spots like the Napali Coast Overlook, the top of Diamond Head, or the PPY Trail Bamboo Forest. Less demand can equal perks. Resorts and hotels sometimes offer free room upgrades, discounted resort fees, or complimentary breakfast during fall promotions. It never hurts to ask nicely and check in. Easier spa and wellness bookings. With fewer people on island, it's much easier to snag a last-minute massage, sunrise yoga session, or beachfront Lomi Lomi at top resorts like the Grand Hyatt Kauai or Fairmont Orchid. More relaxed locals. Tourism workers and tour guides often say fall is their favorite season because the pace slows down and they're not burned out from the summer rush. So you might even get warmer hospitality and more personalized attention. Fall performances and exhibits. Check local calendars for seasonal shows at places like the Maui Arts and Cultural Center, Bishop Museum on Oahu, or live music nights at Queen's Marketplace on the Big Island. Fruit stands are in full swing. You can still catch the tail end of mango and lychee season, and fall brings guava, dragon fruit, and mountain apple. Don't miss a roadside juice stand or farmer's market in upcountry Maui or Kapa'a, Kauai. Fall energy equals Zen energy. With mellow vibes, fewer crowds, and warm sunsets, it's the perfect season for slowing down, reflecting, and truly reconnecting with your loved ones, nature, or yourself. So, there you have it. Why fall is hands down the best time to visit Hawaii. Lower prices, fewer crowds, perfect weather. What's not to love? So, if you're ready to plan your fall Hawaii trip, be sure to check out my island-specific travel guides. Whether you're heading to Maui, Oahu, Kauai, or the Big Island, I've got full itineraries, activity recommendations, packing tips, and more. And if you want even more insider tips, plus exclusive digital downloads and Q&A access, come join my Patreon community. It's where I share my best secrets with my most dedicated travel friends. You'll find the link in the show notes. Mahalo for tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and leave a review. And follow me on Instagram at Hawaii Travel with Kids for even more Hawaii tips and daily inspiration. Until next time, aloha.